No gun, rip.
Guys
gun,
coming
yeah.
back by me. You okay, X?
No.
Maddox. I have a weapon now. There's guys towards the docks.
Yeah. God
good?
damn it! It is so hard to see people. Well, I killed two.
Coming towards your to the docks, southwest.
It says 2 X Factor on your name.
Oh, this guy
Oh,
shredded.
X just got
I got
bamboozled.
destroyed. Absolutely destroyed.
I headshot this guy. Damn, he just finished you.
Oh, I
Yeah, he finished him off.
got a couple hits in him though.
I got 9 rounds. I have to loot.
Pushing you left. Oh,
Damn it, he pushed
he
it
went
soon.
back. I got him. Idiot.
Oh
I
my
got him.
god, that's
He
perfect,
pushed
dude.
out as soon as. Oh, that's amazing.
Like every time
that's
you went
too good.
to switch, he'd peek. It was weird.
Yeah, he just got lucky. All right, going for the gamble.
Ah, fuck me. It didn't work.
You seriously crashed again?
I'm gonna look for heals on this guy.
Dude, I just Spider-Man.
Ah! Oh,
hard.
please don't crash game. No, game crashed. Okay, so I have to drop to pick up. Ah! What happened? Fatal error.
Got him.
Nice.
That is instant too.
All right, you loot him. Tell me if he has anything good.
All right, I'll loot him.
Ah!
Good.
My game crashed.
What?
My game crashed while you looted him.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my god, I
That
can't.
is infuriating.
Hey guys, Level Cap here. I'm going to cut the live gameplay and get into my first impressions of the new Blackout game mode in Black Ops 4. This is something I've been looking forward to a lot on PC. I couldn't wait to get my hands on it, and as you can see, it's been crashing a lot. Yes, the game is in a beta state, and that was just an example of some of the many crashes I had while playing. I had so many crashes in such a short period of time, but the gameplay was fun enough and I was having a good enough time that I wanted to come back after each and every single crash. So that really says a lot about just how fun this gameplay is if I'm actually willing to come back after that many crashes and continue and want to keep playing it. Some people were not crashing as frequently as I was. Some people were crashing more than I was. Some people were unable to load up the game. It is a beta right now. I'm sure Treyarch is aware of all the major game-breaking bugs in it right now, and they've got about a month to get them ironed out before launch, so hopefully they can do that. As far as the rest of the PC performance goes, it feels pretty darn good. One of the downsides is that the gameplay is right now capped at 90 FPS. This has been something in previous Call of Duty games, unfortunately, but I think the developers have the intention of uncapping the frame rate at launch. They're just trying to create a more stable performance for the beta, which is ironic considering how much I actually crashed. But the gameplay actually felt really smooth at 90 FPS. Much smoother than PUBG would feel at 90 FPS because I think it has really good frame pacing. So the frames are all spaced out evenly rather than clumped together. So you can play PUBG at 90 or 100 FPS and still feel like the game's running at 40 because of poor frame pacing. And so the game feels really smooth, really good to play at even 90 FPS, which is nice. That's a bit refreshing. The mass movement feels great. I didn't notice any sort of latency. It's got good sensitivity controls. Player movement, player controls feel pretty good right now. They could definitely refine their key binding menu to give players a little bit more control over how they play, but other than that, I was able to come up with a control scheme that worked pretty well for me in a short period of time. The looting menu does feel like it's suffering a little bit from whatever their design was for the console game. For example, taking an optic off of my gun and switching it for the one in the inventory is not a simple process, and it wasn't intuitive at the start, where in PUBG I can just like click on the optic in my inventory and have it go right onto my gun and replace that where the other optic goes into my inventory. Here it's a much more convoluted and unintuitive process, and I think Treyarch could do a lot of work in refining the inventory system, adding in drag and drop and other things just for quick swapping of attachments and stuff on weapons. Not to mention switching a weapon from my primary to my secondary was very easy in PUBG. In this game, I think I have to drop both my guns on the ground and then pick up the gun that I want to be my primary first, and then pick up the gun that I want to be my secondary second. So there's just a lot of little UI things like that that don't transition perfectly over to the PC side, or are just a bit cumbersome, but it's something that I think Treyarch could definitely fix. Visually speaking, the game looks good. Not great, not phenomenal, it just looks good. Treyarch has a good art team. The map is fun, it's colorful, it's well laid out. There's lots of little neat things to look at. There's lots of details on the environment design, but the lighting engine and the texturing and all that stuff is not like top tier stuff. It's not going to compare to the latest Battlefield game from a visual standpoint, but that's okay. I don't think this game necessarily has to go for that, especially if they can maintain a high frame rate. However, I was struggling to hit even 90 FPS at 1440p on my computer. I have a pretty damn beastie rig right now with a Titan XP and an overclocked 8700K. It should be able to do 90 pretty easily on this game, but I was having to turn a lot of settings to low and medium just to get it close to 90. And so if I have trouble hitting 144 or getting over 100 on this game once they uncap the frame rate, that could be a bit of an issue down the road. Still, as I mentioned before, the frame pacing is excellent, so even if I am unable to get over 100 FPS when the game finally comes out, it's still going to be an enjoyable experience. Now, getting into the overall gameplay and game experience, it's clear that this game it's just a Call of Duty version of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The map is smaller. It's probably closer to a 3x3 kilometer map compared to PUBG's often 8x8 kilometer maps. But it is faster paced. When you fly in, you spawn in, you have the same deployment system. You have a lot of different biomes to pick from. You pick up guns and they're already preloaded. You don't have to pick up a gun and then find ammo and then reload it. It's a faster paced game. You get in, you pick up a gun, you start fighting. Things are designed to play out a bit faster, and I like it. It's a nice stylistic change. That's going to be the biggest difference between this game and PUBG. Is I think PUBG is going for a very methodical, realistic play experience, where this one's saying, you know what, you can be methodical, you can use all the same strategies from PUBG, but it's going to be a bit faster paced. We're not going to bog you down with a lot of the management and make you over focus on looting all the time. We're going to add in fun gameplay and combat mechanics and intel mechanics that aren't necessarily realistic, but they're fun. And that always seems to have been the core of a Call of Duty game design, is to put things in the game that are fun, that people think, oh, that sounds cool, that seems like it could be really fun, not how would this play out in real life. And having a game that's not locked down by that kind of design principle is great. And they even get rid of stuff that has annoyed players in PUBG, like the red zone. You know, there is no red zone in this game. You don't have to worry about a random bombing thing coming in at times, but they replace that with different mechanics like zombies. Zombies can be in different parts of the map. You can kill them, they'll drop loot, they'll definitely give away your position if you start shooting at them, and they'll also be really valuable loot around the zombies too. So there's like some interesting little elements thrown in that PUBG definitely doesn't have. The other thing that sets it very far apart from PUBG is the new perk system. You pick up these perks on the ground in green suitcases. It looks very similar to all the Call of Duty stuff that you've seen before when you're picking your perks for building your classes in the standard multiplayer game mode. You can activate these perks and they'll stay in your inventory and last for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes, and they'll give you added abilities like the ability to hear enemy footsteps from further away, or the ability to move around silently, or the ability to see loot through walls and help you loot faster and find items that you really need. And this is a really cool addition to the game. There's both zombie locations and separate loot drops that will give you really high-end gear, level 3 armor, high health packs, good weapons, all that kind of stuff. But I think you can also find a lot of this gear randomly throughout the game world. It's just going to be very uncommon, and going for the loot drops will give you pretty much a guarantee that you're going to get something pretty good out of them. It's a good way to bring players close together and force the combat, and also the perk system with enhanced audio will allow you to track enemy players from extremely far away. So there's a lot of cool tools that you can use to bring people closer together and focus the combat. Also having helicopters, ATVs, large trucks, and even boats to get around the map quickly. With a really well designed squad system, you can jump in the back of a truck or a boat and it doesn't lock you into a spot, but you can actually move around freely while on a moving vehicle. It works really well and is impressive. You have wingsuits where you can jump out of a helicopter or off of a tall tower and get around the map faster that way. There's grappling hooks that you can pick up that allow you to zip around the map quickly as well. There's a lot of really cool mobility additions to the game that both add to the speed of the gameplay and just the enjoyment of it. You don't ever feel like, oh, here we go, I got to do a really long trek across the map here and it's going to be boring. You usually have a lot of options to get places. Honestly, in many ways, it feels like the developers just looked at PUBG and said, how can we get rid of all the boring and bad gameplay mechanics and replace them with good gameplay mechanics and still keep the fun, methodical gameplay elements in game? How can we have the best of both worlds? And I think that's what Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout game mode is all about. I'm having an absolute blast when the game isn't crashing on me, and it crashes a lot. So basically all Treyarch has to do in my book is fix some of these game-breaking bugs that are in the game right now. They got a month to do it. Hopefully they can. And then a little bit of balance down the road. Level 3 armor and full health is pretty damn powerful. Somebody with an SMG is going to put a full mag into you and not get anything done. And that part of the game is a little bit frustrating. A lot of the optics look almost identical to each other. You got 2 times, 3 times, 4 times optics, and the inventory management system isn't particularly great right now. So if they could just improve on a few little things like that, then this game will be like perfect in my book. Even if it's not perfect, I think it's already got a leg up on PUBG for game pacing and game design. Clearly, a lot of it comes down to personal preference. I know not everybody loves the sort of futuristic, fast-paced Call of Duty gameplay style, but it works incredibly well in a battle royale environment, and I cannot wait for this game to launch and get some of these bugs ironed out so I can just play and play and play. Try it out for yourselves. I believe it is open beta today, so I think just about anybody can get in and play Blackout. So give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you want to see more Blackout content on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing up.